You're scrolling through social media when you see a vintage photo of 1950s America. Suddenly, you feel a deep longing. Not just appreciation, actual homesickness for a time you never experienced. Your chest tightens with nostalgia for diners you never visited, music you never danced to, and a simpler world you never actually lived in. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're definitely not crazy. Scientists call this historical nostalgia, the phenomenon of feeling nostalgic for time periods you never experienced. Studies show that up to 79% of people report feeling this way about at least one historical era. Whether it's the supposed simplicity of medieval life, the elegance of the Victorian era, or the rebellion of the 1960s, our brains seem hardwired to romanticize the past. But here's where it gets interesting. The past we're nostalgic for never actually existed, at least not the way we imagine it. Psychologists call this the rosy retrospection bias. Our brains have a remarkable ability to filter out the negative aspects of any time period and focus only on the appealing parts. That quaint medieval village? You're probably not thinking about the plague, feudalism, or lack of basic sanitation. The psychology behind this goes deeper than simple wishful thinking. Dr. Christine Bacho's research at Le Moyne College reveals that historical nostalgia often emerges during periods of uncertainty or rapid change. When the present feels chaotic or unpredictable, our minds retreat to idealized versions of the past that seem more stable and meaningful. It's not really about the past, it's about what we feel is missing from our present. This isn't a new phenomenon. Historical records show that ancient Romans longed for their mythical golden age. Medieval scholars fantasized about classical antiquity. Even the Victorians, whom we now romanticize, spent their time idealizing medieval chivalry and building fake Gothic castles. Each generation seems convinced that the Golden Age happened just before they were born. Neuroscientist Dr. Antonio DiMaggio's research shows that nostalgia activates the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine and creating genuine feelings of pleasure and comfort. When we imagine ourselves in historical settings, our brains don't distinguish between real memories and constructed fantasies. The neural pathways light up the same way, creating authentic emotional responses to experiences we never had. Social media has supercharged this phenomenon. Instagram accounts dedicated to cottagecore aesthetics get millions of followers longing for rural simplicity. TikTok users create elaborate fantasies about living in different historical periods. We're constantly exposed to curated, idealized images of the past, stripped of context and enhanced with modern production values. It's historical nostalgia on steroids. But here's the fascinating part: this psychological quirk might actually serve an important function. Evolutionary psychologists suggest that our tendency to idealize the past helped our ancestors learn from previous generations and maintain cultural continuity. The ability to imagine ourselves in different time periods might be a uniquely human trait that contributed to our species' success. Historical nostalgia has shaped entire movements throughout history. The Renaissance was literally named for its attempt to revive classical antiquity. The arts and crafts movement emerged from nostalgia for pre-industrial craftsmanship. Even modern political movements often promise a return to some idealized past, Make America Great Again being just one obvious example. So what does this mean for you personally? Understanding historical nostalgia can help you recognize when you're using idealized pasts to escape present challenges. Instead of longing for a simpler time that never existed, you can identify what specific values or experiences you're actually craving, and find ways to incorporate them into your current life. The next time you feel that familiar pang of nostalgia for a past you never lived, remember, you're experiencing one of the most fundamentally human psychological phenomena. Your brain is doing what it evolved to do, seeking meaning, continuity, and comfort in an uncertain world. The past you're longing for may not have existed, but the feelings it generates are absolutely real. And perhaps that's enough.